episode of Pubcast. No Molly today, but we got Shelby and Tim back. Welcome to the studios, guys. Welcome to the Alive and Social Network studios.
Glad to be here.
Pal.
Feel pretty
Glad to be
special?
here.
That's pretty nice.
So special.
Absolutely.
No, the digs are sweet. It's sweet. So, guys, I know Shelby didn't see much of the Super Bowl. Obviously, Tim, you did. So that's where we have got to start. That's obviously the biggest thing that's happened since the last Pubcast. First of all, let's just get first reactions to the game. I know you're a Patriots fucking fan, so I already don't like how you looked at the game. But what was your general reaction to Super Bowl, 49?
Brilliant. Probably the best Super Bowl of all time.
That you've ever seen, right?
Yes.
I mean, I've never been more entertained by a Super Bowl. I mean, I don't remember the 80s ones.
Well, those are all bad.
And they were all bad, right? Montana
Yes.
always
Crushed
just whooped the AFC.
Denver or whatever.
Yeah.
But yes, that was the best Super Bowl. Even with the Patriots have always been in good Super Bowls. If you look at the scores and
Yeah, they've never won by more than 4 points or lost by more than 4 points.
To me, the whole game was good though. It wasn't just good at the end.
Right. It wasn't
So
just about the
that's
finish.
why
That's true.
so-
That's why, and I think you asked me if I thought the Vinatieri one might have compared, but no, that's not as good because you're right. This was 60 minutes of awesome football.
Well, it was 14-7 with 30 seconds left after they scored, and Seattle went down and scored to tie it with 6 seconds left at the half.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, this is...
Which was ballsy as hell.
Well, yeah,
and everybody was expecting field goal. Yep.
And both teams are doing stuff. It didn't feel like just a super... It felt like a regular season game to me.
What do you mean by that? Just because they were being so aggressive?
Yeah, they're being
or-
aggressive. It felt like we're both good. Let's go. Like most of these Super Bowls are like, let's just see what happens.
Because I felt like the first quarter was that.
Yeah,
they were feeling
yeah,
each other out.
and that's what in there was a bet in Vegas about
Prop
0
bet.
points. Yeah, prop bet 0 points at after the first.
Mhm.
You almost got to take
What were
that
the odds on
every
that? The
Super
odds had to be
Bowl. What are
huge
the-
on that.
Can you not take that every Super Bowl almost? Because then it feels like, yeah, you don't do anything the first couple of drives. You feel each other out.
Well, and speaking of prop bets real quick, how pissed are you when they almost have that safety at the end? There's been a safety in the last 3 Super Bowls. It was 50-1 odds,
Do you
and
think-
that offside cost the safety, possibly at least. I don't know if they were going to take it on
why
purpose.
would they try to go for a
I
safety?
haven't understood
was-
anybody who said they're going to do it on purpose. Why would you just take
But I
a safety
heard that,
there?
though, and I was like, it's first down. Couldn't you just...
But you have to get positive yardage. I mean, Brady's taking the snap in the end zone. So you have to get positive yardage or it's a safety. But again, why would you just take the safety?
But you
What
wouldn't
advantage
take
is it to you?
You wouldn't just take it.
Right, but the people were saying that they were lining up as if Brady was just going to take a knee. And I never understood why they would do that.
And then you have the punt,
But and then you have to give the ball back.
and then you go, oh,
But
what if
there was a chance that that Seattle could just get the safety on their own without the stupid knucklehead offside. So, again,
Well,
I'm just saying
yeah.
that if
But-
you're in Vegas, you're fucking dying on that one.
Great Super Bowl, absolutely one of the best ever. It's hard to quantify what makes it a better than that one or whatever.
Well, have
But-
you ever seen a better interception maybe in your entire
No.
life even?
No, absolutely.
And Shelb, we'll bring you into this a little bit. I know you didn't really watch the game, but did you at least see how it ended, that interception that ended the game?
I've seen it once just on Facebook.
All right, give us your analysis. Break down that play. Do you think that he should have picked? It should have been a little better pick on. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I've never seen anything that well. I mean, I think you and I talked about this.
The pause really show how
Where
open
you
he is.
see that there's video and there's a picture of how open he is, and I think that the thing that's not being talked about enough is the coaching here, because a guy who was undrafted, was a rookie, knew what was coming, and that's coaching. I mean,
Well,
that is having your players
the guy
prepared.
on his side was Earl Thomas, who played for Seattle last year. Do you know
That's
that?
true. That's true.
He said he knew that play.
Yep.
I've heard. I don't know if that's
No,
true. I don't know
as
if
soon
this
as they
is-
lined up, I mean,
He
Malcolm
said,
knew what
"You
was
take-"
happening.
yeah.
Yep.
So
And-
there's coaching and obviously having a guy from the team last year that saw that lineup before. All that doesn't matter unless you can physically do that.
And again, and that's where it becomes the best interception,
Yeah.
because no one catches that ball right there. Now, you deflect it, you
They
get in the
collided.
way.
The other guy, the receiver, literally flew like
He
he got
knocked him 3 yards back.
like he was in Fallujah. You know what I mean?
Like an IED
he
went
ran
off.
into-
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
He flew like he got hit by a It was insane. And the other guy caught the ball and went forward.
Yep,
too.
was even smart enough to think I better not fall backward because I'm not in the end zone right
Well,
now. Yeah,
I mean, it
he
would have
was-
been.
That was
I don't know
amazing.
if he goes in the end zone, isn't it at the 20 then?
No, because it wouldn't be a touchback unless you intercept it in the end zone.
Well,
he
so
intercepted
would
at
it
the
be
1
would
foot
it have
line.
been a
It would have been a
safety?
safety, and Seattle wins. I mean,
No,
that,
they would have been down by 1 then. Or
right? But I mean, I think
two,
we're all
and then they
saying,
get the ball.
yeah. I think Seattle ends up winning that game if that happens.
Either way, I don't care. Like everything going in, like it was the best game, start to finish, in a Super Bowl, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And to have a photo finish too. That
Yeah.
made it so great. And you and I also have talked about this. And I don't know, Shelby, did you see Tom Brady's reaction after the interception?
It was not
No.
girly.
And
it
I-
was not. Stop it right now. I hate it.
No, I'm going to do it for her. This is what Tom Brady, multi-millionaire, married to one of the richest supermodels in the world. This is what he did after they got that interception.
Giselle?
Yes, this is what he did.
You're okay. He danced
I
like
swear
that,
to
but
God,
your
he jumped
arms
up and down,
but your
flailing
arms,
his arms.
Hold on. His arms weren't like that. They
Yes,
were in
they
a
were.
more masculine pose. Than
Who
that.
cares what you do?
No, he
you
looked
wouldn't-
like
hold
a
on.
little kid. It
Hold
was
on,
just hilarious.
Jason.
Yeah, you
Right
just
now,
won the Super
if
Bowl
someone
for
walks
the
in,
fifth time.
if someone walks in and says, "Jason, I've got $1 million check for you," how would you dance?
I would probably jump up
so
and down, same exact
I'm just saying,
style.
but he didn't dance. In my opinion, it was not as feminine as you just.
It was super feminine. I
Portrayed.
thought it was hilarious.
Moving on.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, so then the Super Bowl ads. Now I know you've seen a few at least online, Shelby. I know you had she had a holiday party, so that's why we excuse her that she didn't have any idea what happened with the Super
Wait,
Bowl.
hold on a second.
Yeah, Kona Grill had their employee party that night.
There was it on the television? At least
We went to Big Thrill Factory, and it was.
What the fuck is that?
Oh my!
Sorry.
It was.
Get on that microphone, dear.
It was amazing.
What's Big Thrill Factory?
So
Wait,
it's on Highway 7 and 101.
in
Minnetonka.
Oh, yeah, I don't know where that is.
That's so far
It's
away for you?
So
Oh my
far away.
Jesus,
Um,
that's
Bill-
South Dakota.
Might as well be.
Yeah. Okay.
They have bowling, laser tag. They have a ropes course. Basically, But listen. No. Like that's exactly what I thought when we were going there, and we went there, and I've never played laser tag before, and
Brilliant.
it was
Drunk laser tag.
drunk laser
No,
tag.
that would be probably kind of fun.
The absolute best, against your managers and your boss. It
Wouldn't
was
you want to?
so
no.
much fun.
Drunk ropes courses also sounds fun unless you hang
Blacklit.
yourself.
I think I might kill myself on that.
Blacklit ropes course.
Blacklit.
But I don't like.
Do you gotta be on drugs?
The only thing that bothers me about it is the fact I didn't understand that it was a Super Bowl Sunday.
No, they
And,
do
like,
this every year because
A lot of companies do.
we're so
Oh, because
slow,
there's nobody. Yep.
and so
okay.
they can afford to close early.
That's true. All right, interesting.
I still would never
So
want
there
my
was-
company to do that. By the way,
But yeah, do you like? Well, I'm not going to that.
no, no,
sorry.
I'm watching the Super Bowl, or
Right,
I'm
and
going to
some
that. and I'm going to be in the
people-
corner watching the game. the whole
Right,
time.
and some people did, but
Anyway,
all right. So, that,
anyway,
Sorry,
a couple
sorry.
of the commercials.
well, which ad stuck out to you? Any of them?
I absolutely loved the Kickstart commercial, where they take a sip of Kickstart and then they all start just
I don't remember this.
I don't remember that one.
oh my god, and the dogs in the background just and it's all techno.
Oh my god, I would
What?
have hated it probably if
Probably
I had.
bad.
No,
It's
it's
probably brutal. It's probably-
hilarious.
Well, it sounds right up your alley, but yeah,
Consider
brutal.
the worst commercial.
No,
of
no, no, no.
2015.
It's really, really, really funny. I promise.
All right.
Google it.
Any other ones stick out to you?
Well, you made me watch the Budweiser one.
Well, because
That
we have to get
but
to that
no,
one in
not
depth. But
not only that Budweiser one, but the one with the little puppy where he gets lost. He's like, "Oh my god!" There's
and
a
the
big bad
Clydesdales
wolf.
find him, and
Yeah.
yeah. No, that one was good. That was your
Budweiser
typical
makes-
Budweiser ad.
really good commercials. Either way, you stand on it. Even if you hate the other one.
Yeah, and we'll get into that
That
one.
you wanna
and I
talk
did,
about?
of course. But
The
but-
best commercial to me was "Throw Like a Girl."
okay, and because why? Why did you like it?
Can we put a little? I don't even like women's sports.
Weird.
I don't
I would never watch a women's.
No,
sport.
I'm not.
I've never
I
watched
love
the
women.
WNBA or anything.
love women.
I'm a fan of women.
Fan of women.
Yep.
I want to see the best of the best,
Mhm.
right? Of that particular whatever.
And you
So-
wouldn't care if a woman were better than a man, right?
No,
Right.
you can have if Monique from Brooklyn or whatever.
Why is it gotta be
plays-
Monique?
No, with the girl that was on the
No, I know,
Little
I-
League World Series this
Yes.
year. If she turns out to be
The real deal.
a pitcher for the Yankees, awesome.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
I just don't like women's sports. That's just the way it is.
So what did
But-
you take from that commercial then? And now, Shelby, do you know what we're talking about?
I think I've seen a couple months ago like a preview of this commercial. It's where maybe I'm wrong, but like kids, guys, women are basically saying, what does it mean to throw like a girl?
Right.
Or
And it starts out with them doing very poorly, like throwing,
Right.
like, you know,
Right.
like you're very awkward and
I don't
not
even-
good at throwing, basically.
The reason why it affected me because it just felt natural and I don't even think saying throwing like a girl is. I've said it before. I'm
Right,
sure
right.
you have.
Yeah. You've
right?
probably said it to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but but there was something about the way it was produced and the way it affected me in like a weird way. I was like,
So it affected. It worked. You're saying
oh my
is
God.
what they were going
Oh my
for. It worked. Okay.
Christ, yeah,
Because the former Jason, the crazy right winger guy, when I used to work at KSTP, I would have been freaking out, going like, "Oh, this is bullshit." Like, there's a
really?
difference between men and women, and that's okay. And yeah. And now that I realize that there is like a sociological effect on society, and that it's not just what happens in your house, but all of society affects how a kid grows up and all of that. I do think that sometimes we just take for granted things like just saying throws like a girl. And because you know when I say you throw like a girl, you know I'm not complimenting you, right? You know that's a negative.
that's not a compliment.
It's never a compliment. And I think that we've always just thought that was okay, and it's really not. And especially because there are girls out there who don't quote unquote throw like a girl. There are talented women out there at sports, and I think they deserve their due. And I think that maybe we should think about these kind of things before we say them.
Doesn't really mean. All right, listen. If you think you throw poorly as a guy, why does it have to be like a girl?
Why does it make it feminine?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Because we have forever considered that to be negative.
I get why you say
but,
that,
but
that's what they're trying to do, and I like that because I have a niece now. She's 4, and it was I was like, yeah, I want her to think that she just throws.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or
throwing.
just she's throwing, because either way, it doesn't matter if it's bad or good. She's just trying to do something not.
Okay, something just popped in my head. I want to see if you agree with this or disagree with this, or is this the same type of thing? We always kind of assume black people are better athletes. Is that a reverse thing of this, and is that bad? Is it bad when we do this as a positive too? When we just assume by gender or race or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Isn't that just bad to begin with? Isn't that racism or sexism?
I mean, I don't know if literally it affects how the outcome of each person does in those sports. Like, if someone says you're going to be good, does that mean you're going to be better? How do we know?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, just because people say, "Oh, blacks are better, African Americans are better at sports," doesn't mean they're really going to be better.
But if you're 4 years old and you always and you're black and you always hear that black kids are better at sports, I think you're going to have a positive outlook on sports.
So you might be more confident,
you know what I mean?
when you approach the sport.
Right. Which again, maybe that has no effect, but I can't see it having a negative effect. So
that's true. And then the opposite. When you go in, if you're a girl and you're playing against, and you're like, "Well, I throw like a girl, but I'm a girl, and I'm not going to be as good as."
That's what I never got about you throw like a girl. Well, I am a girl, so thank you. Like,
but you didn't see that as a diss to you then? To say,
I guess
"Oh,
I
you throw like a
never
girl"?
specifically got told that. Maybe my little brother did, as trying to make me mad, but I'm like, you're my little brother, so who cares what you say?
I mean, we all take it different. Everybody, literally, probably every person takes that differently.
Right. Yeah.
And I do think it's something we could get out of our vernacular, if that's the right term. It's something we just don't need to say anymore. It's like saying retarded. I don't do that anymore. I just don't.
10% of the population to look at it negatively, then it's not.
That's kind of, and I think that goes along the same lines as just don't use the word retarded. To me, it doesn't. All it has is a negative connotation, and there's no positive of it.
Yeah,
there's lots of things that have negative connotations, though. Are we just supposed to,
Maybe,
it's
yes, actually. I think what you're trying to say is, should we never use those, and maybe you shouldn't.
I think that's actually kind of what we're getting at here. Maybe these are always bad.
Yes. If you say, that movie was so retarded. It's a movie. You're not referring to a person, but you're also
Right.
thinking that anything bad or stupid is negative.
Yeah, I can see that.
Do you know
it's
what I mean?
just, I think it's super unrealistic.
Oh,
Very
no, that's probably
unrealistic.
true. Yes,
But if you could click your finger right now and say nobody
Right.
will use retarded, then
Yeah.
you would.
right.
Right, exactly. No,
Like-
I
Or
agree.
nobody would say Jason throws like a girl. Nobody, you probably wouldn't because you don't want that to be used. It shouldn't be used because it doesn't mean you throw poorly because you throw like a girl. It throws
Because there are girls
Yeah.
that can throw very
Yeah,
well, right? And I think that it's also, and Shelby, I think, I hope for your sake, but maybe not. Maybe because you're a little younger than us. But when Tim and I were teenagers, everything was gay. Oh, that's fucking gay, man. Oh, you're
yeah,
so
we did
that in
gay.
high
Oh,
school,
that's
too.
so gay. Everything was gay, and that was never a compliment, and it never meant happy. It was always a diss. And
Jason-
I think that's something we need to remove from the vocabulary.
Do you remember a game called Smear the Queer?
It was called Smear the Queer.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yep.
Yeah, there was a game probably early '80s. I'm a little older, but to me it was probably '83, and the game was called Smear the Queer.
And
What does that even mean?
Well,
if
to
whoever
us-
has the ball, you tackle.
yes, or
What?
the person.
So you just go. It's 10 kids out on a football field, and whoever has the ball, you tackle, and then they like fumble it out or throw
And
it
then-
away,
and
and
then
then
if they
somebody else
get-
picks it up, and you try to run around with
Hold
it.
on, but if they get to their goal, they win. Right.
Right.
So
There's
like
some
to us, we
destination
had
to get to, or something.
So it was
yeah.
like football.
Yes, but not.
But it was
with
all
the-
against one.
Yeah, all against one. It could have been.
Oh,
It just
okay.
should have been called all against one.
That would have been. That would be the politically correct.
Ours, we had a big
term.
hill. We had a big hill, and whoever was on the queer was on the
Was
top of
whoever
the hill.
had the ball.
No, we didn't even have a ball.
Oh, okay.
To us.
Oh,
But
you
it was
guys
similar.
just played.
No,
just
it
get,
was
just get that queer. That
Get
was
that
basically what it was.
fucking queer.
Jesus.
No, you're on the top of the hill, and you ran down. If you got through, and then touched the deck,
Okay. Yes.
right?
Yeah, we played
you,
that kind
you
of
were,
thing too.
You
yeah.
were safe,
Smear
but it
the
was
queer.
Smear the Queer.
And now I know for a fact I have
Well, that
said the
rhymed.
words in front of my father, like, "Yeah, we're gonna go play Smear the Queer." And my dad is not homophobic, not a
Oh, no.
not really an asshole, and he never would have once gone, hey, maybe just change
Can you
that
guys
up.
say,
You
like,
got a
all for one,
Like,
or-
and I mean, every friend's dad would have just been like, "Oh yeah, Smear the Queer, go get him, guys!" Like it was never a thought.
But it wasn't ever
Oh.
to an actual person that was gay.
Right? It just it had nothing to
Well-
do with being
Well,
gay.
exactly.
You don't
so
know,
in
though,
your
actually.
kids.
Well.
Well,
And
right.
yeah, think about the one gay kid that is
There's-
in the class now, and we're playing Smear the Queer. That would
No,
be fucked
like,
up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it just was perpetuating any sort of stereotype of you should hit that guy. You should do the queer needs to be hit.
Yeah,
Right?
it
But
excused.
do
I'm
you
not saying
think
it's-
at that age specifically? I don't know how old you guys.
But
were,
if- okay, let's
did
say
you
you-
realize what you were doing and saying it, what it meant.
But
not at all.
But Jason, don't you think when you hear queer at 5 and you're playing with your older brother or whatever, and then 7 years later you're in junior high
Completely.
and you're like
different.
that guy's queer, there's a
It
negative
kept that-
connotation,
yep,
right?
It always kept that same.
perpetuates
We should smack the shit out of him. Yeah, because he's a queer.
So
yeah,
like,
that was considered
there
bad.
It was the beginning of that where it was like, oh, that's negative. Let's do something bad. Or he was.
It gives you an
different.
excuse to
Or
pick
he's-
on
yeah,
them
yeah.
or to bully
So,
them
like,
or whatever
any
it is.
sort of thing that says that is, retarded or throw like a girl or smear the queer is. We should probably try to not have that.
And now, hold on. Can I maybe devil's advocate it
Yep.
a little bit? Because you and I did grow up with all of that, and neither one of us are homophobes
That's true.
or racists. So, but I think that we had to battle to get there. You know what I mean? Like, we had
I
to battle
know
through
guys-
obstable to not be like that. And we do know people
You
that
know
are
the
like
people
that.
that
Yes.
probably played smear the queer that are.
That would still play Smear the Queer
Yeah,
and
would
call
love
it
to
that.
smear- yeah.
Yes.
We just were lucky that we were raised maybe better.
I think that's it. I think that is it.
But
It-
you shouldn't use that term. I don't think anybody's plays smear the queer anymore.
I don't think so.
If you're
No.
5 right now, do you play smear the queer?
No. And I think other than like Adam Carolla, there's nobody in mainstream that says retarded.
Does he
I
say
think
it?
that's been. Oh, he says retarded all the time. It actually drives me nuts. But it's other than that. I think we are slowly taking these things out. But then again, people would say that bullying's at an all-time high. But I don't know if that's true or not, or if that's just something that we've kind of
Well,
yeah.
it's easier to
Decided.
bully now.
It's so easy
because with the internet. You mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
so
Facebook. You can
unbelievably
just
easy.
chat with Instead of bowling from 7 in the morning to 2 when you were in school, you can do it from 2 to midnight.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can do it all day.
And you don't have to do it in person,
Yeah,
which
and
is
you
the
can
easiest
say
thing
faceless.
ever.
Yep,
Anything you can say online is easier to say online. You don't have to see them. You don't have to look
grew
them in the eye.
like 6th grade year and 4th grade. 4th and 6th grade, worst year. Girls would hack your MSN accounts and your email accounts. Like, I had girls send emails to each other which were saying swear words, which in 4th grade and 6th grade, big deal. Like, and then they would turn them into your teachers. It's like, I didn't even say that. You hacked my account. Like, now I'm in trouble with my school. Like,
wow.
Girls
You didn't
are
deal with any of that shit.
freaking nuts.
That's, you said 4th grade you're dealing with
4th
that shit?
grade.
What
I
year
remember.
what year would have that have been?
That was
97?
no,
I'm
What
just
year
kidding.
born? You're 92?
92. That
So
was
that
Later.
99?
no,
2000?
2000.
Okay.
I was in my last year.
Because 5th year, yeah.
I was dropped out already.
So, and it was just like so dramatic because you couldn't defend yourself. You couldn't prove that it wasn't
well, it
you.
was
You
you.
couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't say no. This wasn't me. It was
It was
someone that hacked
identity
my
theft.
account.
It was fucking identity
Like,
theft.
yeah, but bitches would
Whoa.
hack your account and go online, write their email to themselves with all these swear words, and then you'd get in trouble. And I just remember bawling to my dad, being like, "I swear to God, this wasn't me."
Shelby's still pissed about 4th
I'm
grade.
still pissed.
She's
No,
still
ask
upset about this
ask
right now.
my parents. Like 4th grade, my mom and dad will say to this day, 4th grade was the absolute worst year.
4th grade was fucking amazing for me.
I like
I don't remember a bad thing about 4th grade.
glue on stuff and
No, I'll tell you the only memory I have of 4th grade
Brutal.
was I got brought up 2 levels in math. One other kid and I were brought up 2 levels in math. The teacher pulled us aside and said, "You guys are too smart for this
Unreal,
shit. We're gonna
yeah.
bring you up." And like, it was, and I'll never forget that because it was the only time I've ever done this, and I'm doing it for both of you guys because you're that good. And blah blah blah. That's
Hold
my
on.
only 4th grade memory was that I
Actually,
was
that's
good
a-
at math.
That's a really good side note. I bet you were so confident about math after that.
Oh hell yeah, for the rest of my life.
Think about that.
Yeah. He could have done that and been fucking with us. We might not
No.
have even been good at math, but he's
You-
been like, "Hey guys, you know,
I
we're gonna
actually that'd be a really neat experiment if you took the 2 worst kids in math
oh my god."
and said, "You're our 2 best. You're going to a different, and then you could be going to the dumb class.
Yeah. Oh
But, like,
yeah, put you in the
You know,
bad.
but no, like you're our 2 best kids in math. I want you to go to this class, and because you're way above everybody else, I bet they would actually improve their scores.
I think they would. Mr. DeLune, if you're out there and you did that to me and Johnny, you know, that's
Because-
brilliant. Well done.
confidence is literally almost everything.
It's almost as important as anything. Well, I
Yeah.
know when it comes to sports,
Completely.
confidence is almost more important than skill. Almost.
If you walk into anything,
even
job
sports, real
interview,
life.
job
Well, yeah.
interview, you go, "I got this."
Right.
It's true.
I mean, that's that's.
Or if you walk in going, "I have no chance of getting this job." Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Huh.
Interesting.
We're going to take a real quick break, and when I say quick, I mean real fucking quick. And we'll be right back to shoot the shit more here on the Pubcast.
Hi, everybody. This is Alyssa,
And this is Liz,
and we're with the Focus Radio.
where our focus is to bring you resources to grow your business and double your income.
Join us on Mondays from 3 to 4 p.m. Central Time. TheFocusRadio.com.
Stop.
One of my favorite songs of all time. Well, I apologize for the long commercial break, but we're back.
We got a lot of sponsors.
We're selling the shit out of this show.
tons,
Speaking of which,
tons of sponsors.
at McGov Podcast is the old Twitter handle if you're looking to do some advertising, or at MK Burke, or at MN Pubcast. Those are all the Twitter handles. Not going to beg, but I can really use a buck. Speaking of bucks, Budweiser's got a couple. And they spent a lot of them in the old Super Bowl. We already talked about
4.5
2
million
different ads.
every
So
30 seconds, right?
yeah, so they spent $18 million on advertising. I don't think that Fulton has got that in the budget. You know
No?
what I'm saying?
They don't
I
have
don't
it?
think they're gonna
No? Alright,
be
well.
doing any Super Bowl ads anytime soon. But if for those of you who haven't seen it, we'll try to lay this out for you a little bit. Budweiser came out with an ad that was saying how proud they were to be a macro brew and how basically they're not pretentious and fuck all of you that are. They literally have the hipster with the handlebar
bad.
mustache with his nose in his glass, smelling that, and basically just saying, like, our beer doesn't need that. Now,
Basically, Jason.
and that's why I took a lot of offense to this shit, because they said that basically Budweiser is for. They tried to say that Budweiser is for people that just want beer. For people that are just
If
they
by
really just
beer
like
you mean
beer.
water.
And that's my point. Is it's
Hold
not
on.
beer. It's fucking made from rice. First of all, they fire brew it or some shit. Even in the commercial, the process they're talking about
Jason,
is
it's
something that no
Beechwood
one
aged.
does. Yeah,
It's
Beechwood aged. When was the last time you had any good beer that they were claiming how they were Beechwood aged?
The only thing
Beechwood.
I only eat or drink anything that's been.
Meat.
No,
Your
meat,
water's
mine
been
meat,
Beechwood
my meat
aged.
needs to be Beechwood aged.
But I don't know. I mean, I
hold
get
on, here's
what they
why
were
I
doing.
like the
I
here's
get what
why
they were doing.
I
Go
texted
ahead.
you today. I said I like
Yeah,
it.
I know you did.
You know
and well, first of all, you have to admit you
I
will
kind
drink
of
a
like
Budweiser.
it a little bit too.
Of course you fucking do. I'm
well,
not surprised by that. Just
only-
because I think she saw me in the ad and she was like, yeah, fuck it.
No.
Here's why I like it. There's nothing wrong with telling people this is what we're not. Okay?
Agree.
This is what we're not. We're not. If you order it, you don't have to smell it. You don't have to have a curly mustache. You don't have to think you're cool. You order it. It's America in a bottle. It is straightforward. It tastes
Shitty,
good. Hold on.
mass-produced.
No. Listen. Don't interrupt me. God damn it. No. You know what it's gonna taste like because we've all had it. It's gonna get you the same goal. You can get drunk off it. And it tastes like what your dad told you a beer tastes like.
Because there
It
were
does.
4 breweries in
No,
America when
okay.
our dads
No,
were drinking beer.
Trust my favorite beer right now. I love beer. You know I do. I love good beer.
Yes, I know.
But I can drink bad beer, and according to people, it's considered bad beer. But I like that they just went, listen, this is what we're not. If you hate that guy that's smelling beer, that's an apricot peach Hefeweizen, if you hate that, this is exactly the kind of beer. I like that because, listen, why do you have to make a fuss about a beer? Why do you have to smell it? It's a fucking beer. The original beer might not have been that way, and we're trying hard. Maybe do less, right?
Yeah.
But I like no, and I still like I like porter stouts, IPAs, double IPAs, all that. But I like where they because you're trying to get the person that's like, that sucks. I hate that.
What they're going for are people that want to drink beer that don't like beer.
No,
and
that's not
that's
true.
okay.
That's
No,
not
no,
true.
Yes, it is.
No, and that's where that's why I sent
No,
you that,
I-
because when I saw the
exactly.
commercial, I was like, Jason's just full of shit right now.
No,
Yes.
no, they
Because
don't
I heard what
make
you said
beer.
about it.
It doesn't
They don't
make
even make
Budweiser. No.
It doesn't make Budweiser.
Oh my god!
Oh
it
my God.
doesn't make Budweiser not a beer. The thing that I love about the commercial is that they're sticking up for what they believe, what they've done for how many years. That's what they are.
But
Good
you
for
understand
them.
that this is an act of desperation
No.
because they are
No,
it's
hemorrhaging
not.
in
No,
sales. Yes, they
no,
are.
Hold on.
they're not.
No,
There's
look at the
no
numbers.
way. There's
Okay, hold
no
on.
way.
Budweiser is not doing nearly as well as it was 10 years ago.
Well, but it shouldn't.
But
because-
because craft beer is taking over.
But
They're
that's not-
scared of that.
Well, hold on.
I don't think they're scared of it. I think they're saying, this is what we've done. This is what we do.
See,
This is Budweiser.
they think they're still in 1982, though, where there were 30 breweries in America. There's
what are they gonna do?
3,000 now.
But
It's
they've
totally
tried-
different. The
hold on.
landscape is totally different.
Hold on. But Budweiser, a lot of these beers have tried to make, like Budweiser made Black Crown, right?
Oh, yeah. They're trying to make a craft beer.
They got to hold on to only what people think of. You can make Bud Light Lime, Bud Light Raspberry, anything. But
The
the
Raspberries
only
and
ones,
shit.
there's only 2 beers that
Raspberries.
Bud Light or Bud is going to sell, and Bud and Bud Light.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to make them billions of dollars. So they got to hold on to that. But at the same time, I hope they hold on to that, because that's like the ground level beer.
Okay, I
And
get
a lot of
okay.
guys that that like that. They don't want anything else, and I want them to be successful because I like that that's there. Because if you had a
But there's a
hold on.
craft beer out there for that guy. There is a good craft beer that is light
I
and
don't
refreshing.
think so
Yes, there is.
because my dad drinks Miller Lite. That's all he drinks.
So he doesn't like beer either.
Exactly. You can.
That's
I
not
guess
same
you can
as-
say that.
No. Hold on, Jason. I'm going to defend Shelby. My dad drank Miller Lite growing up. To me, that is quintessential beer, and anything other than that is a take on it.
Yeah, we don't because
Yes.
again though, but that's because there were no options back then.
But that's like the original way to brew
It was
beer. You know what I mean?
exactly,
In my
and it
mind.
was fun to
That's-
them
I
to be
completely
like,
disagree, actually.
"Oh, you drink Budweiser? Well, I drink Miller Lite."
Yeah.
like
See,
you know,
okay.
like it was.
Tastes great, less filling, bro.
But here's what happened: we had microbreweries before, a lot of them. We had like 2,000 breweries in America in the 1800s, and then it got mainstreamed down to the point where it became Budweiser and Miller, and you had seriously 30 breweries in America. And now people have said, "Wait a minute, we don't just want these bland, mass-produced
Yes,
things.
I
Want."
understand
and for those that want
that.
that, that's fine too. Like I'm not anti the person who actually likes the flavor of Budweiser. I hate the fact that they think they're drinking beer. That's all.
It's still
That's not
beer.
It's
Eh.
yes,
Why is
by
it not beer?
By
yeah.
German standards, it's actually not with rice. There's no
We're
rice
in
in beer.
America.
Hold on. My
so-
friend lives.
But most
in-
beer is-
My friend is from London.
Guided by German laws.
Lives in London, and it just happened to know people here, so he's been here. He will. If he was here right now, he would laugh at you. You know why?
Why?
Budweiser is like drinking Stella over there.
But I think Stella sucks.
But no, but
anything mass-produced
But
sucks.
no. But they think it's
No,
like,
that's
oh,
not
that's
true.
an import. It's cool. Like it's cool to drink Budweiser over there.
Oh, sure.
So if you're in London, like, and maybe I'm wrong, so I hope we don't get. But he's just like, no, like, yeah, Budweiser.
But it's okay. Hold on. Aren't you even just kind of saying though? Then it's more about novelty than it is about they think it's quality product. It's just because it's from America. It's different. It's like Stella here. Stella is a plain, very basic beer. There's many beers better
I'm
than
just
it.
saying. I'm trying to like give you a sort of mass-produced beer that's not like a porter with vanilla and chocolate and coffee. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying like Stella's just a beer to me.
Yeah,
like Stella's
yeah.
a beer. Like that's beer. Like anything like a porter with chocolate and vanilla is a beer, but it's also like it's something different. It tastes good. It's not a beer. It's not. If someone's like, "You want a beer?" I'm like, if you're going to your buddy's house to watch football, you're gonna have a
Exactly.
fucking beer, man. You're gonna have Bud or Coors
yes.
Light. You're gonna have a Bullet.
Like for Super Bowl, it's like, what are you gonna what are you gonna drink when you watch the Super Bowl? We're not gonna down Summit Sagas all day.
Yeah.
There's no way.
You're gonna crush
You're gonna
Coors,
get
bro.
Coors, bro, Natty
Yeah, so-
Ice, some ham, some
and,
Coors.
and both
like,
of you know, I think you do, that when I've had 4, 5, 6 craft beers, I can start drinking McGolden. But it's not because I know it's not beer.
Okay,
it's
hold
just
on.
like filler.
No,
it's
no,
just
no.
shit.
It's
shit beer, fuckers.
It's still beer.
It's
I'm saying, okay, hold on.
almost technically
Here's why I like
beer.
the commercial,
Almost.
and we can move on if you need to.
Yes. Well, we want to talk about one more commercial. Then we're going to take
here's
another
what I
break.
like. Here's why I like it. It only said, "Here's what we're not." If you want to be a fucking man, and when you fucking change your oil in your driveway, this is the beer.
That is
and I like
exactly
that.
what it
Hold
says,
on.
yes.
I love that because America is also missing that guy a little bit.
But hold on though, because
Like the
that guy,
the dad from 1982 doesn't exist as much anymore, and I want that. I want that. to
Yeah.
happen.
the guy that you're talking about though right now is the fucking guy that we hate. That's at some suburban bar wearing a camouflage fucking hat. And that's who this ad is for. And you and I are never going to hang out with that guy.
No, because I'm a pussy. I can't. Hold on. I can't change my own oil, and I like
You
a porter.
can't?
I like a.
Okay, hold on.
I like a
hold on.
porter with a hint of vanilla and
Okay.
chocolate in it.
Okay, hold on. So if this is what you're saying, and I think
But I like the
I think I dig what
idea
you're
of
saying.
the
Yep.
commercial
Yep.
because it makes me like hacking back to the.
You
my
like
dad.
the idea of a real American man. Like,
Yes.
but they don't exist anymore, and that's why Bud's dying. It's because more people are more like you and I. We are moving on to craft. We're becoming more
sensitive. We don't like
and
the girl
sensitive
throws
and-
like a girl commercial. We like
Right.
no.
Well,
we're-
and
That's not a bad thing, is
No,
it?
I'm just saying
no,
it
it's
is.
not a bad thing.
No, but I would love to change my own oil,
Ba-dum-bum.
and but hold on. In all actuality, I don't mind the commercial because it's just saying this is what we're not, and drink this beer if you want to drink just an American style lager.
And I think that's even what the guy from the Growler said. And of all people, a guy that's writing for Growler magazine is going to be pretty pro craft beer.
Yeah,
but he
so
was
then-
kind of saying, this ad is nailing what it's going for.
Yeah,
and I agree.
that's
agree.
what I was trying
but
to
it's,
get
But it was
at.
it was an attack on me, was it not? The craft beer drinker. I think it was kind of an attack.
Jason, we both
don't
are.
be a
we're-
hipster.
We both drink craft beer, and I never felt attacked once.
All right.
Do less.
That's the way I
think
look at it.
less.
Well, it's not going to be much fodder for a podcast if I don't give a shit about it, is it?
Well, all right.
All right. So then the other ad that just stuck out to me a little bit though was and it's been talked about all over the place,
the
is the
kid died?
Nationwide. Yeah, like I'm not going to be able to go to prom because I'm dead.
I'm dead.
Like, what the
What?
fuck were they
Yeah,
thinking?
you didn't see that commercial?
So it starts out with this kid like going through the big moments that a kid would go through life, and he stays the same age the whole time. And then at the end, he's like, I can't do any of these because I'm fucking dead. And then they show
Well, it's like a life insurance
overflowing.
commercial,
Yeah,
right?
they show an overflowing bathtub because the kid drowned in it. Like this, I don't know what
How
you're supposed
old
to
is
take
this
away from
kid?
this.
He's 6 or
8,
8.
yeah.
Yeah.
Show me it.
Well,
That's what she
That's
said.
not as easy as it sounds.
Show me what? No, hold on. Here's Jason. The anything that's supported it was like, it got people to look at the website because it was, you know what I mean? It was a big deal because it was like,
Do you think people saw that with any reaction though, and went straight to the Nationwide website?
well, to spend $4.5 million.
It was nationwide.
Yeah, it was Nationwide Insurance.
Nationwide
What is on your side?
Right, you go from Peyton Manning putting the feet up on the couch, going
I
to this.
hate those commercials.
Fucking love the Peyton
Oh
Manning.
my-
Chicken
No.
Are
parm
you
is
kidding?
very
Chicken
good.
parm, it tastes so good.
Fuck.
Nothing
that.
beats
That's
that
so
new car smell.
dumb. I hate those commercials.
Hold on.
I don't even like Manning anymore, but I love those commercials.
You know what is some good commercials? Get some cold cuts. Get some
Oh,
cold
those are the
cuts.
greatest.
You like the
but you don't
Icky
even
Wood?
know who Icky Woods is. You don't
No,
know the
I
Icky Woods
don't.
shuffle, and you still like it.
I don't
Which I mean
care.
shows how good those
you
are.
like? Oh, hold on.
Did you see the new one? That was in the Super Bowl
Yeah,
too, wasn't it?
it was.
I didn't see a lot of commercials because my 4-year-old niece was literally a nightmare. in a good way though. No, like we just couldn't stop. If there was
No, they're
like she's
all
like
up in her grill.
just running
Yeah.
around like we were playing. I don't
Uncle
see her
Timmy.
that. I don't see her that much, so I had to like.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? It was great. It was great. I'm just saying. She was. I
Missed a
didn't,
little
I
bit.
didn't see a lot of the. Yeah.
Because she's a nightmare.
Yeah. Pure nightmare.
Lots of love in the house.
No, it was good. It was good. It was
but
very good.
no, I just Icky Woods did another one where they asked him like, does he get excited about everything as much as that? And he does, and he does the
nice.
dance again. Like it's good. But those commercials are fantastic. But that's Shelby. The first time I saw that, I remembered that was his end zone dance, and to see him do that and
Well,
get
I
that pumped up was so.
obviously know.
No, but
what
it was
that
the Icky
is.
shuffle. His little dance was an iconic.
I know
dance.
that's.
Oh,
You
you
did-
did.
you did figure that out?
The-
Okay.
the when you saw the commercial sitting at home on a Wednesday night in December, you went, "Oh, that's Icky Woods
from the 80s.
No, I didn't know who it was, but I knew that he was a football player,
Oh,
and
okay.
I knew that that's what
Oh.
he did when he got
How
a
did you know that
touchdown.
though?
Because I'm
She's
fucking
intuitive.
smart.
Okay,
Yeah, she's
I'm
very
sorry.
smart,
Well,
very
all
smart.
right. Anyway, nationwide
You
commercial.
know, Tim, I
Well-
have an $80,000 degree. That's why.
Is it?
Jesus.
Yep.
Mine's 122.
Mine's 100. Just kidding.
They
Yeah, let's
call-
compare debt,
they
guys.
call me
let's
every
let's
day.
talk about debt.
They call me
They
every
call
day.
me every day.
What are you doing right now?
Tim, could you please pay your
us
bill?
back, please.
Wait, you answer those?
No, absolutely not.
All right, let's guys. Did I tell you about this thing where I basically love being found or made in a laboratory? Did I even send that to you guys? Because that's
Wait,
what we're going to talk
wait.
about.
No,
next.
that was
It's
something
pretty
of our
interesting.
homework you didn't
Wait,
send us.
hold on a second.
Well, I mean, you weren't going to do the homework.
None of
anyway,
that
so I figured-
sentence made any sense.
Well, then you're going to have to just stick around to the break to figure out what the fuck I meant.
Good teaser.
Hi, I'm Terry Daniel, and I've been a voice actor in Minneapolis for over 2 decades now. How often are you getting compliments on your voice? Now is the time to do something about it. If you're interested in getting into voiceovers, please contact me via my website at universalvoicetalent.com.
Stop sniffling on the microphone. Oh, all right, back with the Pubcast, the MN Pubcast, the Minnesota Pubcast. We can never figure out what the fuck we want to call it. We are Molly Burkless tonight. She'll be back next week, but we've got Shelby and Tim filling in this week. Live from the Alive and Social Studios tonight. Tomorrow night we are out at O'Gara's, so the beer will be flowing tomorrow night. I know that'll be good for Shelby. I don't really know why that applies to you specifically, but thank you. So, all right. So, Molly actually posted this on Twitter a few days ago, and I saw it, and I said, well, I'm running with that. She and I will talk about it on the... Shut the fuck up. She and I will talk about when she gets back as well, but I wanted to talk about this with you guys. There's actually... a scientist did a study where you take two strangers, you put a man and woman, put them in a room, and you have them ask each other 36 questions.
Okay.
And it gradually...
I would love this.
I think it's really interesting. It gradually goes from very basic, that strangers would ask, to extremely deep that no stranger would ever ask another stranger. But from the story, I believe this is from the New York Times, the gal that wrote the story talked about how when you go from question to question, it's so gradual that you're not really noticing how deep you're getting. Like, you're not really thinking about the fact that I'm really unveiling really deep thoughts and things. So, okay, I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples of the questions. I don't want to give you all of them because, in fact, I don't want to read them all because I kind of want to try this with somebody. I mean, it's just for fun. But
so
like
maybe a stiff Tinder date.
Exactly.
Yeah.
First question is, given the choice...
Are we answering them?
No, you don't have to. I just want you guys to just see if this
I kind of
is
want
fun
to.
to you.
Tim, you're answering them.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Go.
Maybe we can. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? So that's a very stereotypical...
Channing Tatum.
Wow. Why? He's
I'm
not
turning
he's
your mic off.
the least
Your mic's
interesting
fucking cut
person
off.
in the world.
Oh, my God. He's actually learned how to act, though. He might not be so
Yeah,
bad.
but what is he going to tell?
I don't care what he has to tell me.
She doesn't even want him to wear a shirt.
wow.
She just wants him to
Well,
come.
that-
All right.
I
So
bet
that says a lot about you.
Okay, yep. Well, good talk.
All right.
How about
Okay,
you,
Tim,
Jason?
who would you pick?
Who would I pick? I probably wouldn't even be a woman.
Who?
I would want an interesting dinner date.
Yeah,
Larry
I know who
David.
I would.
Larry David.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, Larry David, Corolla, Bill Simmons.
Yeah, I mean, like, I want a guy who can talk about shit
Yeah.
that I'm interested in.
Oh. All right.
I can
Moving on.
I can look at a girl online and watch her do things naked. That's how
Can you?
awesome the internet is.
Wow.
But to actually have dinner with somebody isn't different. Anyway, okay, Chen.
All right, and again, the point of me going through these questions is to give you an idea of what they're of what
Do
they're
another
going
one.
about.
Do one like on
17.
20.
Oh,
Well, no.
there we go.
It's 30. There's 36.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna
let's
do
go to
one more
9.
from this first set. Yep.
nine.
For what in your life do you feel the most grateful?
My parents. Come on, you can't even.
Jason?
It's you have to do these
My brother,
questions.
my brother,
spur of the
my brother.
There you go.
He's my
See?
hero.
You just gotta
That's sad.
snap, and what first comes to your head.
My brother.
My nephew.
Right. There we go.
See?
Most
Brilliant.
grateful for my nephew.
Okay.
Dude, what a fuck.
Sappy as shit, huh? Sappy
Brother,
as shit.
no, but hold on. Those are all family members.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting.
See?
And
Very
those
interesting.
again would say something about a person. I think that those
Yeah.
would be the things you
My
cherish.
brother's my number one guy.
All right, we're into the set 2. Throw out a number between 13 and 24.
11.
17.
Thank you, Tim, for knowing what's between 13 and 24. Holy shit.
Okay, can I take it
I'm
back?
too smart. I'm sorry.
21 is what I
no,
would
we're
say.
going with 17. What is your most treasured memory of all time?
Am I going
Losing your
first?
virginity, Timmy?
No. Too many. That's that.
Like one specific memory?
Yeah, your most treasured memory of all
All
time.
right, Shelby, you go.
That's a tough one.
I don't have a specific memory that like one day, but my most treasured memories are at my grandparents' farm. Just being out there.
doing outside stuff, or
Yeah.
just having that like freedom.
Yeah.
It was fun. You were just weekends probably, so it was you weren't
Weekends
doing,
we would stay there. I was the oldest of all my cousins, so we always stayed out there. We rode horses and did all
Nice.
that.
Nice.
I feel like these are tough questions to answer on the spot. I'd actually, I swear, like the next
comes
day.
to me like this.
So I feel like the next day after this date, I'd be going, "Oh no, shit! That would be like the moment,
Yeah,
or that
well,
would be the."
So what comes to you right now?
nothing.
I mean, like really?
I don't think I have a treasured memory. My life has been shit.
I feel like I feel like you block off.
My
a
mom
ton
was
of
a
your
stay-at-home
childhood.
mom.
Oh, I do.
My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and back in the early '80s, late '70s, she would hang our sheets on a clothesline outside in the summer. when it was nice out.
Absolutely.
So it was nice out, and you're a little guy. I could run through the wet sheets. Hold on. No, but it felt the
It would
feeling,
cool you down,
like,
Yes.
like you're running through a little
No.
sprinkler or
No,
something.
I
or
know
what?
what
So
you mean.
think of like a brilliant sunny May afternoon with the sheets blowing in the wind, and I'd run through them and feel that like cool, but it smelled good because it was like clean.
Uh-huh.
Everything about that is I still literally think about that because nothing could get better than that.
No.
To me.
See, and I guess
Because you were like a little Todd guy.
Mm-hmm.
You were just like 6 years old,
Yep.
bombing around, and it just felt good on you. And it smelled good. It felt good. Your mom was there, and it was sunny, and everything was nothing could be more perfect. Nothing was negative at all about that situation.
And
I-
nothing else mattered.
No.
I'm at home with my mom,
For
and
some
she's
reason,
doing
I'll
laundry.
always remember that.
See, I don't know why. I think it's because I've been recently playing again, but in the sense of the surroundings and the smells and stuff. Playing hockey when I was a little kid, it was run down the street to the local rink with everybody just after school. Everybody just goes to the rink and plays hockey just for fun.
Yeah.
And the smells of that room, the nasty skates and all that stuff, and just the atmosphere,
Oh, no.
just all the kids just out there just having pure fun. There was no bullshit to it. I those were the days, and I mean literally, it was like a mile away, and I would walk skates over my shoulder down there every day, and again that's why doing it again now is like brings back that nostalgia a little bit. But I don't know if I'd be able to call that my most treasured memory.
But I mean, like we played driveway hockey with my brother is 5 years older, and his buddy was 5 years older, and then my best friend Patrick is my age. So like it'd be 2-on-2 in the driveway, and the ball got too frozen. You would literally go in the house and put it in the microwave and warm it up so it gets soft. Because if you get it too hard, it would hurt.
Oh, absolutely.
And besides the memory I just mentioned was probably the other one where I was like, that means a lot to me because you were with the older guys. You were playing hockey. It was fun. There felt like there was literally no time limit. Like it was going to happen for
It was going to go happen
lifetime.
forever.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
like playing outdoor football
Oh
and
my
stuff
God.
as a kid. Like
No,
that
there
was
it
just forever.
insane.
There was no.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And yeah, greatest memory, like there wasn't one thing. Well, you know what I mean?
No, I don't
did
have that
On
one.
December 12th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
December 12th, 1986. I
You know what? If you
got
had
the
been
He-Man I wanted.
married or something, like I would think maybe like your engagement might be one of those moments or something. At least maybe for the gal.
Since
I don't know
we're
if that's
losers,
for the
it's not
guy.
gonna
Well, you and I will
happen.
never have to
We're
worry
all
about that. We
losers.
don't have to worry about
But
that.
yeah. Anyway, we go back to childhood because there's no negative about anything we just mentioned.
Right. Let's do one more in that group. Shelby, between
Yeah.
13 and 24.
Okay. I'm
Name
not
it.
even
29.
24.
Throw a number. 13 to 24.
Oh, I thought you were going to say between. Okay.
No, one of them in between.
Let's
Pick it.
do 23.
23. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's? Tim and I, we could go
Yeah,
on. for
good
this. Jesus
question.
Let's go
fucking
on
Christ.
with this.
Way to belittle
This is
our-
where the
way
girl
to-
walks
hold
out on our date.
Way to belittle our
Yeah.
belittle my
feelings.
ass.
Yeah, you really care about how
No, I
we
wouldn't
feel
say
about our
that my
childhoods, don't you?
childhood is better than anyone else's.
No, what was the question? Once again,
Yes, I
how
did.
close and warm is your family?
No, read the rest of the question.
And do you feel your childhood was happier than
Oh,
most other
I'm
people's?
sorry.
Yes, that was the second half.
Wow, Tim, pay attention.
Timmy gets a little.
I don't think it was happier than anyone else's. I loved my childhood. I guess I don't have anything besides fourth grade.
What-
Fourth grade,
how about
when
the-
those bitches
how-
were.
Yeah, you had that really
Hold
rough
on. What
Microsoft
was
hacking.
the first part of the how close and warm is your family? Answer that though.
Yeah, I feel like my family's super close. I won't move. I mean, I would move far away. I don't want to move far away, and that's the reason why I moved to the city specifically because they're only 4 hours away. They're far enough, but close enough.
Nice.
All right, so between. Well, do we want? I don't want to answer that.
We're not.
I don't want to answer that one.
You guys are
There needs to be a
lame.
paid professional in the room.
Right,
to-
we need
yeah.
a couch.
for Jason and I to answer that.
Somebody that makes
There needs-
120
yeah.
grand a year,
Yeah,
at
just-
least.
Yep.
All right, between 25 and 36. Let's
28.
28. Tell your partner what you like
Oh.
about them.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Be very
Avoid.
honest this
Avoid.
time, saying things that you might not say to someone you just met. I kind of think that's interesting too. Or, well, what do you say to a girl you just met in that way? That'd be really weird. Like I think you got a great ass. I mean, what do you? What do you
Wait.
tell
Dad
them at this
ass
point?
dough.
Well,
Exactly.
since we don't have partners,
Yeah.
can we even like?
Can't really.
Can we do another one?
When did you last cry in front of another person or by yourself?
I last cried in front of my boyfriend Mitch last night because my grandma emailed me and I got it. This always happens to me. You guys, whatever. I don't even care if you judge me. Shut up. I get this overwhelming feeling of my grandpa sometimes and I just can't control it and I just start crying. It's just something
I'm sorry.
that, like right now, that happens that I can't even do. Like, it just happens. And so, yeah. The other night I was like, well, this is out of nowhere. My grandma emailed me and now I'm thinking about my grandpa. Now I'm a waterworks. Thanks.
Jason, cry for you?
Probably would have had to have been ex-girlfriend.
Really?
Like when we broke up. That's the only time. The only time I cry is over a girl, and it's only in front of her.
Weird.
No, I'm just.
Well, what else would I cry about? I mean, when my mom
Can I-
dies, I'm gonna cry. But other than that,
Wow. I
don't really cry
literally
much. No, I'm
I
kidding.
teared up. This is gonna be bad, but if you haven't seen it, I cried at the last episode of Friday Night Lights.
I thought you were going to say Friends.
Oh, I wish I would have. I love Friends. No,
but
but
hell, your friends would have been.
How
good.
No.
you doing?
it was about
Friday Night Lights.
6 to 8 months ago. It was probably like in the spring of this year. I'm a very emotional person, and I there's things that happen that I get
Didn't
choked up
agree
about.
with?
No, I get choked up. Have you seen the show?
No,
I've
I've never
seen the
watched Friday
first
Night Lights,
couple
no.
By the way,
episodes.
they just it does a really good job at building the character throughout the 5 years, and you're like, you feel so connected, and when it ends, you're just like, damn it,
That's awesome.
damn it.
Well, I felt.
Not like bawling where you're like
Right.
sobbing. You're just like, you get verklempt. You get like,
Wasn't
you get, like,
Boyhood a
choked
little
up.
like that? Wasn't
No,
Boyhood
we
get you a
talked
little?
about
Yeah,
that.
I think we
We talked
both
about
said
that.
that kind of got us a little choked up
No,
too. I
when
didn't have a tear or
when
anything,
he's
but
driving from his home to a college,
Yes.
and the hero's on, we're both like, you're like, fuck you. No.
exactly. All right, let's do one more.
Well, what's the
The-
last?
the- yeah,
question?
you have to
What's
do the last
What's the
question.
last question?
Okay, well, actually, all right, we'll do the last question, but then there's one more thing you do that's not a question.
Okay.
But the last question is share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also, ask your partner to reflect back on you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen. Jesus.
Do what now?
Do what now? Yeah, let's skip
Wait,
that. All right, so anyway,
what?
what the last thing you're
Do
supposed to do
29.
29. All right, what the hell?
Or what, the second
No,
to
that's
last
fine.
one.
Oh, well, 35 would be that. Of all
okay.
of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing?
Oh, God. I don't
Wow.
want to do
Yeah, I
that.
don't like that either.
I don't
We
want to
can't
do
do
that.
that one?
But now, okay, so again, we see the point, though, right? How this went
Yes.
from very vanilla to holy shit, what are we talking about? So the gal who wrote this story for New York Times and talked about this, she did this with a friend, or not a friend, an acquaintance. They had never actually been together, like, alone before, but I think you can already tell, like, even from the article, they might have been attracted to each other a little bit, but they did this at a bar, just those two, and they went through all the questions. Then the last thing you do is you stare into each other's eyes in silence for 4 minutes.
4 minutes?
4 minutes. And she talks about how fucking excruciating
No,
that
there's
is.
no way.
But when
I'm
they
What's the,
did,
hold on.
really
What's the
bad
point?
at-
What's the whole fucking point?
Really
though?
bad at eye contact.
I think I should go to what she says, actually.
Hold on.
What she talks about
is
is
the
very interesting.
percentage of getting laid like 90%? Because if it is, let's all do this.
There's no way I could do
No.
that.
The
I
actual
don't give a
study,
shit.
The actual study did produce a marriage 20 years ago when they first did this.
That's what I'm saying. We should all on the first date. We should try it, and we get blown. It might be-
There's no way I could do this. There's absolutely no way.
What do you mean?
Why,
you
could
couldn't
you
do the
just break down that
questionnaire, or we
believe,
could
or
just
No,
what?
because
stare in each
okay,
other's eyes.
I'm just
Hold
gonna
on.
blame this on someone else.
That's been 10 seconds.
That was
Looking
3
at each
seconds.
other's eyes.
I'm just gonna blame this on my dad for a second here.
Oh, wow.
Daddy
Oh,
issues.
Ronnie, sorry,
Ronnie.
sorry about it, bud.
No, when we got in trouble at home, I would always look away, avoid conflict. And he would always make us, no, you look at me when I'm talking to you. And that, like, still when I look at people, I'm like, oh my God, am I in trouble? Like, what's going on? I don't like
But
it.
you're looking at me right now. Are you in trouble? Are you naughty?
No, but
Do you think you
I
could...
am really, 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 like, I obviously know you two, so it doesn't bother me, but, like, people I just meet or people I just start dating or anything, super duper bad with eye contact.
I don't think you could do it with either one of us. 4 minutes straight.
No, I
don't
couldn't.
think
I
you
think
could.
you could. No,
I don't think
hold
she
on.
could.
I actually, right now, if you could, if you had to, like if it was like
If I had to, yeah.
contest, let's do it.
Yeah, if we
Like,
taped her eyes open and forced her to
No.
stare in a direction.
I think you could do it.
It
Okay.
makes me feel super
But if someone,
uncomfortable.
let's say you're on a Match.com first date and you go, listen,
Nobody pays
you
for
print
Match.
off. Besides,
Way to
Tim
shit on a point.
no, but, yeah, thank you.
Tim Rasmussen's on Match.com. Look him up.
Look him up. Pilkington 10. Let's go.
Start charging you for ads.
Yeah. So actually,
Get you off Match. You can just advertise on this show.
that's not a bad idea. Hold on. But if you were on a match, okay, and you printed this off and you brought it and you go, I've heard this is a good first date icebreaker. I think it could
Okay.
work. Actually, I think
I think it'd be
it could work.
fun.
no, it could be fun.
It could be fun.
It could be fun.
Let's
If the
hold on.
other
on.
person's gonna be just as open
But
as
the
you
4-minute eye contact might be a little
No.
much, where you go,
Deal
"Oh, this is creepy."
breaker.
Creepy.
Now let me read you what she says about the experience. She says, "I've skied steep slopes and hung from a rock face by a short length of rope, but staring into someone's eyes for 4 silent minutes was one of the more thrilling and terrifying experiences of my life. I spent the first couple of minutes just trying to breathe properly. There was a lot of nervous smiling until eventually we settled in. I know the eyes are the windows to the soul or whatever. but
Winder.
The winder.
The winders.
Hey man, you got a window
You got
in
any
your
winders
hand?
you put in that
You
house?
got a window in your trailer?
I know the eyes are the winders to the soul or whatever, but the real crux of the moment was not just that I was really seeing someone, but that I was seeing someone really seeing me. Once isn't that deep?
A little much.
Once I embraced the terror of this realization and gave it the time to subside, I arrived somewhere unexpected.
Nope.
Honestly, I don't think I've ever stared into someone's eyes for a minute long, and I do think that would be uncomfortable as hell. But I think after a couple minutes,
I think I'd
you'd
start
figure
crying.
it out. You'd start
Why?
crying.
Just, it's me. I would.
Wow. What do you? Wait. Why? You mean does
It'd
this
be
go back to the dad thing,
overwhelming.
or
No. It'd just
Crying?
be
No, what the
overwhelming.
fuck? It's just eye contact for 4 minutes. It's not that big of a deal.
I think it would be very awkward, and
It'd be
especially with that
no,
first date.
Okay,
Totes
awkward,
ock.
yes, but
Yeah.
not.
But you could do it. I
crying.
could handle it. No, it wouldn't freak me out like that. I don't
Jesus
think.
Christ, you got a lot of baggage.
Have you met Shelby?
Have
Yes,
we?
yes,
I'm
she
just
does.
saying that's a little much.
No, I'm kidding. All right, guys. Well, we're
That it?
almost done with this one.
Wow.
What do you want to talk about tomorrow night? Should we kind of preview? You guys will be back. We'll be back at O'Gara's 5 o'clock. What should we talk about? Anything? You guys are
Nothing.
full of ideas.
You-
All right, this is
no.
why I bring him in.
You want
This
to talk
is
about
why I bring him
phone,
in.
You want to talk about phone usage.
I'd be interested to talk about food. Wow.
Food? I'll talk
Guess I'm
about
hungry.
food.
No, the phone usage thing I think is very interesting. I have a couple other tidbits of older stories too. I wish I could get a guest or something, or like get Axtel or something. It'd be interesting to what the fuck is going on in St. Paul lately with these like big brawls and people like crash and smash and grabbing type things. It
Yeah.
seems like recently, since like November, there's
I
been
don't
a
watch the
string of just crime in
Sort
St.
of
Paul.
attacks.
Just random attacks.
A lot of them are called like gang initiation attacks.
Yeah.
Where we like just go up to a random person and like punch them in the face or like
Yeah.
take their wallet. Yeah.
And that shit
So there's
happened
been some
in other
stuff-
cities
Not
for years and
okay.
years,
But
but it's apparently coming to
To
St.
me,
Paul.
it's either besides the barrio one that was in a public place.
Yeah.
Most of them are like in the Skyway later at night, where
Yeah.
it's like, it's hidden. Those they're not.
I don't feel
I don't feel weird.
unsafe
No.
walking
No,
around
no,
St.
no,
Paul right
no.
now, and that's where I wonder too if this is as much media driven as it is anything.
little
I just
bit.
feel like, and especially because Jay Coles, who I like Jay Coles, but he was the one behind
mean
the Pointergate shit. I think
J.
he
Cole,
might
the
be.
musician?
No, Jay Cole's from
Wow.
KSTP. He's a
No, but-
reporter at KSTP, and he came
Oh.
up with the Pointergate stuff, which was complete bullshit. And he's been the one that's been all over this story too. So I don't know if he's just trying to make headlines or what. What'd you have there?
Nothing.
All
All
right.
I was saying, as a person that literally is in St. Paul 24/7, I do not feel it. I don't feel unsafe at all. I'm not, and I've never seen anything. Well, you want to come mess with Smith and Wesson, the gun show? Do it.
Don't mess with Rusty and Tim.
Don't mess with Rusty and Tim walking down Selby and shit.
We will bring all of this humor to the show tomorrow night, live from O'Gara's in St. Paul, of all places. We'll see you
All
tomorrow
right.
night.